So for the first part of this lesson, lesson 1, chapter 1c, we're going to look at aerobic exercise. So aerobic exercise, hopefully you'll be able to get a hint from it, involves air. There needs to be the intake of air. So it's exercise in the presence of oxygen. That's a really important part, because when we start looking at some of our examples, we need to be thinking about if there is this constant supply of oxygen during that exercise. Now, the reason why we need to have that oxygen is because the oxygen is required to break down glucose. And the reason why we need this is because this glucose is required for energy. That's really quite important. Now, the oxygen, once it will convert into carbon dioxide. That's an important one to remember, because we have a byproduct of aerobic exercise between the two. Okay, so if I was to summarize the process of aerobic exercise into some sort of an equation, we know we have the presence of oxygen and we know we have glucose. Now we know that glucose will convert into energy, and we know that oxygen will convert into carbon dioxide, and then we also have the presence of water. Now, after you've watched this video, you're going to complete the quiz that's on the next section, and you need to give a very specific sporting example for aerobic exercise, an athletics example. Now, the reason why we do 2 is because that's what's required at A level, so we always do 2. So when we are considering both of these examples, we need to discuss it in relation to the duration of the action and the intensity. So if I'm able to take in the presence of oxygen during my aerobic exercise, am I going to have a high level of duration or a low level of duration, or are going to have a high level of intensity or a low level of intensity? Okay, now just as a bit of an add-on, aerobic exercise at A level is called submaximal. So you need to complete the quiz, then you'll come back and look at the next video based on anaerobic exercise, and then we'll continue working our way through the lessons.